the idea of having a clinician, as you said, that's well trained around these issues to be able to come forward and then be able to really be able to be in this space in a way that is informed, and so that you are not causing more harm in addition to the harm already caused or whatever the original issue is. And I think that that's the place that a lot of folks who, and you mentioned, psychoanalytically trained, that this is, trauma models, for example, advanced experiential dynamic psychotherapy, although they are also working on integrating the anti-racism lens more and more, I know, but that, for example, is a trauma modality that is created because of the lack of that sort of felt sense of connection around feeling gotten, that we would talk about if you actually understand the racial dynamics and you understand the power inequities and you understand the pieces around.
Well, counselling has a problem really, Francesca, because it's kind of unable to see itself as biased, or institutionally racist, what we call here. It's unable to see itself as that because it's still seeing itself as a caring profession, and the profession that isn't kind of, I don't know, I still think we've got a way to go before it does see itself as having those problems and having those issues. And also the people themselves almost are unable to see themselves as biased and, a part of a system that results in forms of oppression. Counselling and psychotherapy has got a long way to go. I don't know about what it's like in the States, but I think it's got a long way to go here.
Yeah, it's definitely the same. So let's talk a little bit about these supports that you've offered to people of color, BAME populations, self-acceptance and identity, the first one. And in some ways, I would say that would also be helpful to a lot of folks who are white identified that get stuck in shame also. But we're talking specifically about, but in a different way and for different reasons. So let's talk a little bit about self-acceptance and identity. What's important there?
I think identity can act as a protective shield. If you haven't got what I would call quite a strong identity and quite a firm structure around who you are, then it's very easy to be swayed by other people, isn't it? To be swayed to take this position or hold that position, or to, one of the reasons why we have different terminologies, people are getting stronger. They're able to self-identify. They don't have to be at the whim of just being called whatever somebody else calls them, or where that comes from, who decides who's going to get called what. So people are more empowered by their own identities. But I think, for me, the identity thing is about people defining themselves regardless of anybody else, regardless of a cultural background, regardless of all sorts of things. And for that, for people to hold on to that sense of self, a sense of BAME identity, and working through and reflecting on who you are, and then being strong enough to stand by that,